Hello everybody, welcome to today's episode of House of Tallysha. Today we are in Arcos de la Frontera, and what we are about to do for this episode was a suggestion of one of our viewers, Hugo. Thank you so much for suggesting that we take the tour of the white villages, Pueblos Blancos. The reason is behind me, the whiteness of the pueblos, of the villages. We are in the province of Cadiz in southern Spain, in the province of Andalusia, or in the autonomous region of Andalusia. And the tour of these pueblos encompasses 19 small villages and hamlets somewhere in the mountains between Cadiz and Malaga, deep inland, because Cadiz and Malaga are on the coast of the Mediterranean. We don't know how many villages we are going to do, but that's the surprise of this episode. Arcos de la Frontera means literally arches on the border, but there are no borders here. This is Spain. We are in the middle of the country, and the only borders of Spain are with France and Portugal, which are very far from here. So why border? Because up to the 16th century, near here would be Al-Andalus, a province that was under Moorish control, because there was Arab presence here in the Iberian Peninsula between the 8th century AD and the 16th century. So arches on the border meant that this was near a border, the border to the territories under Moorish occupation. There are other cities and villages around which have border on their toponym, like Jerez de la Frontera, the city where cherry actually comes from, the drink cherry. So cherry on the border, Jerez de la Frontera. So this was bordering the kingdom that was under Moorish occupation, the Al-Andalus. Beneath me, vertical limits all the way down, and a magnificent view of this Pueblo Blanco, of this white village. Arcos de la Frontera is also the first pueblo, the first village, if you come from Cadiz or Jerez de la Frontera and you want to take the tour of the white villages, the Pueblos Blancos. Que no, Daniela, que eso no es silencio, que eso no lo podemos. Pero que sí. We are here in Arcos de la Frontera, and our next stop is Bornos on the tour, on the route of the white villages, so the Pueblos Blancos. This is the road from Arcos de la Frontera to Bornos in the tour, in the route of the Pueblos Blancos, and the views are absolutely astonishing. Stop number 2 on our route of the Pueblos Blancos, Bornos, which you can see behind and below me. Bornos is on the margins of the river Guadalete, but even more iconic, in the further distance you have the Sierra de Grazalema, the mountain of Grazalema, here in the province of Cadiz, a very iconic contour, and we are added to the Sierra de Grazalema to see more Pueblos Blancos. We are here in Bornos, our second stop. This is the river Guadalete, and we are going to the next Pueblo Blanco, which is Villa Martin. Stop number 3, Villa Martin. From Villa Martin, we are headed to Prado del Rey, which will be the 4th stop on our road trip in the Pueblos Blancos.
Where are we?
Prado del Rey.
This was a surprise.
Very nice. In front of us, the very iconic Sierra de Grazalema with its very distinct contour. Our next stop will be the 5th stop, and it is going to be El Bosque, literally meaning the woods. This is our 5th stop, El Bosque, already on the slopes of the Sierra Grazalema. After El Bosque, we are going to Grazalema, the village with the name of the sierra, of the mountain. El Bosque Grazalema, in the heart of the mountain. Benamahona is another Pueblo Blanco, another white village, which was not on our menu because we are on our way to Grazalema, but it was nice finding it. We are deep in the natural park of the Sierra de Grazalema, somewhere between Benamahoma and Grazalema. Benamahoma is one of those Pueblo Blancos that was not on our menu. So it became number 6 on our road trip, and Grazalema will have to be number 7 on our road trip. This is Puerto del Boyar. We are at the Belvedere, which is located at an altitude of 1,103 meters above sea level. And below is the valley of El Boyar. The views are absolutely stunning. There is greenery all around and birds of prey hovering over us. Beautiful, beautiful, especially on a sunny day like this. Who would know this is February? Embraced by the mountain around is Grazalema. We just had a lovely picnic up higher in the mountain in the Belvedere of Puerto El Boyar, and now we are going a little bit further down to Grazalema and explore this Pueblo Blanco. What beautiful, beautiful scenery. As far as the eye can see, this mountain range, Grazalema, Sierra de Grazalema, greenery all around, and all these winding roads that will then take us out of Grazalema to our next stop. Magnificent views. depois tiras-me uma foto. After the beautiful Grazalema, we are going to Zahara de la Sierra. And it's going to be mountain road all the way to Zahara de la Sierra, which will be our 8th pueblo. We have made it to Zahara de la Sierra, our stop, which is our 8th stop on this road trip in the Pueblos Blancos. And mind you, it's difficult to get here. The road is really narrow. Part of it is in altitude and there are no protection rails on either side. And so it is difficult and you need to be focused and attentive, and sometimes you will miss out on the landscape, which is gorgeous if you are maneuvering all the corners, which are plenty, which are many. Anyway, totally worth getting to Zahara de la Sierra. As escadas vinham ter aqui. A bench. Wow. Because you are tired and you need to sit. So much climbing that you actually need a place to rest from all the effort which is going upwards. Oh, so beautiful. Then you discover little corners like these. Such little streets. It was really steep getting here, but we are at the plaza of Zahara de la Sierra. Beautiful fountain here, and we are going to the Belvedere to see the views. Oh wow. Oh wow. Such beautiful views. The green, the blue, the white of the houses and of the pueblos. Amazing scenery. Wow. Beautiful place. The sun is almost setting, so there is this incredible light, this wonderful atmosphere. Very beautiful. No words, really. Oh, and the castle. So beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Pueblos Blancos means white villages, and they are painted with whitewash. And this is typical of southern Portugal as well, to paint the houses really crisp white in order to deflect the sun heat, the sunlight, and so the houses will be fresher during the hot summer months. Way out. Good to know. Wow. Ooh. Must be so nice to have breakfast in this little garden, this little corner, this terrace with a view of Zahara de la Sierra. We are back in the car after hiking Zahara de la Sierra, and we are contemplating what to do next. We wanted to go to Algodonales, which is about 9 kilometers, 9.3 to be exact, far from here. But this is a very winding road. This is all mountain road. We are tired after a day in the road trip of the Pueblos Blancos. It's already past 6 p.m. and we even contemplated going to Olvera, which is even farther away. So no way, we are dead tired, and instead we are going to Ronda, where we booked an hotel for tonight. So we are going to spend the night here in Ronda, beautiful Ronda. And tomorrow we will think about what are the pueblos to see and what to do next to finish our road trip in the Pueblos Blancos in Andalusia. Second leg of our road trip in the Pueblos Blancos tour. Yesterday we went to 8 Pueblos Blancos. Today we want to do a 9th. Actually, we are hoping, we are doing 10 Pueblos Blancos because Ronda, where we are, although not a village, not a Pueblo Blanco, is always on the tour. Ronda is always included in all the road trips of the Pueblos Blancos, and it is actually part of the route of the Pueblos Blancos. And so today we are going from Ronda, where we are, to one of the most iconic Pueblo Blanco, which is Setenil de las Bodegas. We want to go there, Setenil de las Bodegas, which will be around 30 minutes far from here, about 25 kilometers and around half an hour to get there. Again, mountain road all the way, but we are very excited to going to this very iconic place, Setenil de las Bodegas. We are approaching Setenil de las Bodegas. This is the view from the road below. And as you can see, Setenil de las Bodegas is built on the cliffs of the river Trejo. We are on the roof of the parking lot here in Setenil de las Bodegas. And if you can see, what is amazing is that the houses are built inside the cliff. And some houses are on top of the cliff. And it's amazing that the cliff doesn't fall over the houses and that the houses don't fall over the cliff. It's a feat of popular architecture, really. It's kind of claustrophobic to see the houses combining or trying to find an equilibrium on the cliff, below the cliff, on top of the cliff, and then the pigeons perched on nooks and crevices on the cliff. Amazing. The houses follow the natural contour and the natural pattern of the cliff. And so the rooms are in line with what the rock formations have to offer. So steep. Oh my. Wow. Oh, wow, this is so steep and so slippery, dangerous, basically. I don't know, they drive here in these very narrow, steep vertical streets. It's amazing how they do that. And there are pharmacies and shops and parking places. We are getting into the most iconic street here in Setenil de las Bodegas, and we have to juggle pedestrians, cars, and the cliffs, and tourists like us. This is a very narrow street, and we are entering the most iconic of the streets here in Setenil, Las Bodegas. And we've got to juggle traffic, pedestrians, and tourists like us. And as you can see, the cliff is an arch on the street. Basic architecture, just follow nature and build a wall or two. It's a bit claustrophobic. And very, very picturesque, very quaint. And then there's the river, because the river is right to our left. So if you don't know what to offer your dad on Father's Day, there you have it. It's a lottery ticket for the dads of the world. Bodegas in Spanish means taverns, and it's easy to find out the meaning behind the name Setenil de las Bodegas, because under the cliff and the street that is parallel to the river, and basically using the cliff as a wall, you will have all the little taverns and little pubs that give name to Setenil de las Bodegas. We are going to have a coffee here. Are you filming? That's your...
I'm waiting for our coffee.
Oh.
Coffees.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, los cafés solos, por favor.
¿Solo expreso o un poquito más cortito?
Café solo.
Son más largos.
Más largos, sí.
Yeah.
This is nice. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Look at the size of those tomatoes. Oh, Jesus, look at that.
I thought they were pumpkins.
Yeah, at first sight I thought too, but no, they're tomatoes.
French, Canadians. By the accent, it seems
Je vais faire ta queue en même temps pour. Je mangerai que des salades avec de l'huile d'olive.
Ah. ¿Y la cuenta?
Serían 2.40.
3,40.
Ah, bora, deixa-me tirar aqui uma foto.
Et puis le lendemain matin, je mange à chaud, puis elle était dans son lit, je fais le câlin et tout. Il dort. Oui, c'est quoi ce
Behave.
cadeau là? C'est quoi? Elle part,
The gentleman is waiting for you
C'est
to
une
deliver
copine,
the...
Gracias.
Gracias.
Baby, this is a picture. This is a great picture.
If you say so. Ah, epa, espetáculo. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Oh, cheers. And that's it for Setenil de las Bodegas. Under the cliffs, we're having a nice cup of coffee. And we were saying that we saved the most picturesque of the Pueblos Blancos to the end. And indeed, it's amazing to come here at last, because you will have in the back of your mind all the other villages, all the other pueblos that you visited, and then you come to this one, which is so unique and so out of the box. This is it from Setenil de las Bodegas. Enjoy.
The clothes are put to dry
Oh,
in the balcony.
yeah. Oh my God. See where you hang the clothes? They have a clothes rack there on the balcony in the cliff.
How do they manage to dry the clothes?
I don't know. Not a Tesla. Not your Tesla. definitely. Look, the little balcony is along the river. And now it's to Ronda again, about 30 minutes on our way back to that very beautiful town of Ronda with its magnificent bridge. And this is it. We have come to the end of our road trip in the wonderful Pueblos Blancos, the white villages here in Andalusia in the south of Spain, in the provinces of Cadiz and Malaga. Some tips that may help you plan if you are willing to come here. Well, this makes for a wonderful road trip under 200 kilometers, and you can do it by car or by motorbike. We've seen dozens of motorbikes doing this same tour. The pueblos start typically in Arcos de la Frontera and finish in Ronda. So the tour, that is how it finishes and ends. And of course, you can start in Ronda and finish in Arcos de la Frontera, or the other way around. We started in Arcos de la Frontera and now we are in Ronda to finish our tour. There are 19 Pueblos Blancos. We did 10, including Ronda, that we already know, and that you already know if you follow House of Tallysha, our channel, because we have an episode just for Ronda. And of course, of those 19 pueblos, you can choose and pick the ones that you want. Which are the unmissables from our point of view? Arcos de la Frontera, definitely, with its castle and the wonderful Belvedere, the Mirador, and of course Grazalema in the mountain of Grazalema, in Sierra de Grazalema, Zahara de la Sierra, perched high above with the lake, which is a man-made lake just in front, and of course Setenil de las Bodegas, where the houses are built on the walls of the cliff of the canyon of the river Trejo. And mind you that if you are taking a car, do not go about in the streets of, for example, Grazalema or Zahara de la Sierra or Setenil de las Bodegas. Mind where you are going, because we found ourselves more than once in a pickle because the streets are very, very narrow and you can hardly squeeze a car there. Another tip: what should you buy? What should you get as a souvenir, as a momentum of this road trip? Well, we got one fridge magnet of Setenil de las Bodegas because we found Setenil to be so typical, so iconic, so unique. And we also got some goat's cheese, which are also typical. And these are goat's cheese from Payoya goat, which is an autochthonous goat breed of this region. There are also sheep which are autochthonous. They are called Grazalemeñas, and they also produce, their milk is also used for sheep cheese. We decided to go with the goat cheese. Other tips: well, we are doing this road trip in February. Temperatures are on the 22, 23, 24, 25. That was the maximum that we got. It's agreeable, it's amenable. So find a period which is compatible with these kinds of temperatures, because summers here are really scorching hot. And we are told that the peak of winter is also cold, but we were here last December and temperatures were also very agreeable. So probably the best would be spring or fall, autumn, to do this kind of road trip. Anyway, it's a fantastic, short and sweet road trip, and we finished with Setenil de las Bodegas, and we thought that it was saving the most unique pueblo to the last, and it was kind of a cherry on top of the cake for us. Well, this is it for today. We hope you have enjoyed our road trip in the Pueblos Blancos here in Andalusia. Join us next time here on House of Tallysha with me, Isabel Tallysha-Soares. It's always a pleasure having you here. We hope you get to learn and relax a bit watching these episodes. So if you like these sorts of contents, subscribe the channel. Also leave comments below with suggestions. This episode was actually a suggestion by one of our viewers, Hugo. Thank you so much. We followed the suggestion and it really is an incredible road trip. Thank you so much. As for me, you know where to find me here at House of Tallysha, where, as always, I will be waiting for you. And now for some tips for this road trip so that you can... And this is it.
Quando eu estou a fazer isto, eu pareço refletido.
Então eu começo agora. And then there's the river, because the river is right to our right. Oh, left. Not to our right, to our left. And then there's the river, because the river is right to our left. About 30 minutes on our way back to that very beautiful town of Ronda with its magnificent bridge. About 30 minutes on our way back to that very beautiful town of Ronda with its magnificent bridge.